Sam Birds lets Chicotto. What are you doing? That is unbelievable. I'm sorry, that kind of behavior has no place on a professional racing track. I'm sure the stewards will be looking heavily at that. And on pole position for the first time in his GP2 career, it's Stefano Coletti. The green flag waves, the lights go out, and here in Malaysia we're racing. It's a great start from Lima, straight past Nazar and up underneath Stefano Coletti. He moves around the outside of him down into turn one, but Coletti looks to have him confident. James Collado having a look up the inside as well, but Nazar's got that inside line coming down into turn one, and Fabio Lima tucks in nearly into second place. Coletti keeps hold of that lead, so it's Coletti from Lima. Third place is Felipe Nazar. We've got contact between Harry Anto and the second racing engineering car of Julian Leal. As Mitch Evans has a look, and James Collado up the inside of Felipe Nazar. They almost make contact, and Mitch Evans is going to take advantage of this as Nazar comes over the bumps, and Mitch Evans moves up to third. Harry Anto really struggling with that damaged car through the sweeping turns, falling back through the field as Canan Massas gets past Sam Bird, and Sam Bird dropping back on those harder compound tyres, trying to stop Leal from getting around the outside of him. Rushing past, and Sam Bird dropping back on this opening lap. At the front is Coletti. Oh, as Collado right up the inside of Mitch Evans, and Evans takes that back from James Collado as he outbrakes himself into one of the best overtaking points on the track, just managing to keep Felipe Nazar behind him. And don't forget, these guys have got to make these tyres last for at least 6 laps at the start of this race before they can have a pit stop under the regulations. But Ericsson is out already, so not the start of the season that the reigning champions would want at all. And here's a replay on board Marcus Ericsson, and he's right into the back of Jolyon Palmer, just gets his braking all wrong.
Yeah, it's strange that he didn't move right there, because he had some place to go on the right. That straight's over, so definitely not the start of the season that Dams wanted.
Coletti leads over the line then. Fabio Lima second, Mitch Evans sits third. Fourth place, James Collado. Fifth place, Felipe Nazar behind him. Simon Trummer, then Tom Dillman seventh. Canan Massas up to eighth. Sam Bird ninth. Julian Leal in 10th.
Quicker.
And this is Ericsson, must be coming back. Yeah, Marcus.
I don't really get that. He had some space on the right, so... It's one of the most physical races of the season, and it's difficult. You got to keep your focus, and at these speeds, you know, if you feel bad, it's just a little bit everywhere that you will lose.
Canan Massas right up the inside of Sam Bird. That move was never on in a million years, but he takes the damage, he takes the knock, and lose a couple of spaces there. But that was a very, I think, optimistic is a positive way of saying it. And Canan Massas trying to force Jolyon Palmer into the pit lane. Jolyon, though, stays strong.
And I think maybe got a bit confused with that and thought there was space.
So here we go, James Collado looking at Mitch Evans, and that was very nice.
Around the outside of turn one, so.
These guys, certainly the guys embroiled in the midfield battles when they're in the dirty air, and Quaife Hobbs in the MP Motorsport car coming to a standstill. Oh, teammates, oh, goodness, let's hope they haven't come together. That would not be the best way for MP Motorsports to start. Let's have a look. Oh, please no. I think we know what's coming next, don't we? Quaife Hobbs up the inside of De Jong. De Jong turns in. That's left rear gone for De Jong, and takes out the left rear on his teammates. Oh dear. Shame for the MP Motorsports guys. And did it to the tyre on Arianto, but we've got a battle for the lead now. Lima on Coletti for the lead of the race. He's going to have to go around the outside into the hairpin. Coletti leaves the braking lane. Lima trying to duck up underneath him to get back down the straight again. But yellow flags out down at the final corner. Yellow flags now in. They're good to race once again. Two of the most experienced drivers in GP2. Into turn one.
Coletti lost 1.5 seconds on this lap compared to the other, so either it's a mistake from his part or he's really struggling with the tires.
Lima looking to pounce. Up the hill and into the 90-degree right-hander. Not the easiest place to pass. I think he's going to try and bide his time for the left-hander where Ericsson
He looks much quicker,
contact.
and I think there's no hurry for him to try anything silly or stupid. He doesn't want to lose in a ridiculous crash, so I think he's got some time. Only
Here
5
we
laps
go.
in a race.
Here we go. Ooh. So the battle for the lead here in Malaysia, I think it's going to be the left-hander. He's going to have a look. It's a great overtaking point. Looks one way. Will he switch back and go underneath him? Under braking.
Probably going to wait for one of the main straight. He looks really good on traction compared to Coletti, so...
Coletti skitting around under braking. Lima now all over the back of Stefano Coletti. If he gets the braking right for turn 14, such a pivotal corner to the lap. Sets himself up. Great slingshot out of the corner. He has Coletti absolutely nailed down the straight. Fabio Lima on Stefano Coletti for the lead of the race. Coletti, though, great defensive drive there.
He's much slower now. He confirms it in sector 2.
But the yellow flag's out again on the straight now. Green flag again. So into that hairpin, that's making it difficult for Lima.
Coletti lost 2.5 seconds compared to his lap that was 3 laps ago, so he was driving 49.5. He's now driving 52.0.
And all the time that's allowing Collado, Naza, Trummer to catch these guys. We are now in the pit window. How long can Coletti hold on? Lima, it certainly looks as got a lot of life left in those tyres. He's looking all over the back of Stefano Coletti. Oh, look at him, all over.
Coletti's really struggling now. Looks like he has no more tires. He's probably going to pit very soon.
Got to. End of the lap at least. Lima having a look. He's going to have to go around the outside. No, up the inside. No. And he knows all the time that the advantage that he could draw out from being able to stay on these tyres a few laps longer is going to be thrown away as the guys behind him are catching up all the time. He's got to get past Coletti. All over the back of him. This is it. Turn 14 needs a good exit out of here. In his slipstream, Coletti and Lima. Lima goes for the outside line once again, which will cut off pit exit for Stefano Coletti unless Coletti backs out. And Coletti staying on the inside. Will he duck into the pits? Outbrakes himself and jumps in. Fabio Lima then leads this race. Coletti, race leader, comes in to change off those softs and no doubt stick on. Rears, the wear rate on the rears really starting to wear out. Daniel Abt is out and puts his head in his hands. He was in a fight with Leal, was it? Or Varhout? Let's have a look at what's happened. Oh, no, it's just all on his own. Takes way too much speed.
Went wide on the curb, and the curb's quite high at that point, so probably no wheels on the ground for a little while, and he got the car sideways.
And I guess stalls it at the moment, so he's losing a good chunk of time. Bird and Canamasas rolling off the track, unhappy with Sam Bird. Oh, what? 8th? 7th, 8th? Haryanto on Binder.
He's coming out right ahead of Mitch Evans.
And Haryanto can't quite take Binder, so yeah, he's ahead of Evans, he's
in P.
Mr. Palmer. Now Haryanto up the inside of Binder, who tries to close the door, but the Indonesian forces his way through, whilst at the same time Sam Bird flies past Trummer and then has a look at the Venezuela GP Lazarus driver ahead of him. Bird now on a march, trying to take that reverse grid pole in 8th. He's going to get Binder. Varhaug's looking at Trummer. They're going to touch, do they? No. Woof, that was close. And still the battle between Evans and Riquelme. Evans battle on, not just for the lead, but for every podium place. The top 3 split just by a couple of seconds as Chacon makes contact with Rosenzweig as the American has a little look up the inside of the American, who closes the door, and now Rosenzweig throws it up the inside and makes that stick on Kevin Chacon for 17th place. As Riquelme gets past Mitch Evans, Evans trying to double back on him and up the inside into turn 1, Evans on Riquelme, and Bird gets past them both. Very cool from Sam Bird, from 9th to 7th, just by watching those guys scrap over the position and picking up the pieces. Haryanto now onto the back of these two as well. I wonder how much Evans is struggling today, given how ill he's been. Not easy for your first GP2 race.
Riquelme was in P7 now. He's losing the reverse grid front row at the moment. He needs to get past Evans. He's got to pass Evans, otherwise he's going to get overtaken by the guys behind.
Behind Haryanto is Binder, behind him is Varhaug. And then Trummer has Varhaug up the inside of René Binder. Varhaug can perhaps sense that 8th place. So, as the laps count down, battle for the podium.
Struggling here.
So, back to the replay we were watching earlier. Evans and Riquelme run deep as they fight with each other, and Bird just says thank you very much, flies through, easy peasy. Good foresight from Bird.
Just to switch back to this fight now, Kaleido's taking nearly 4/10 to Coletti on the first sector only. So he's looking good compared to Coletti now. I think we might have a good battle shaping up, and Coletti's struggling now. We know that Limer's really good on the exit here.
Great exit from Lima alongside Stefano Coletti. This is for the lead of the race. We know how good Coletti is under braking for this hairpin. They've run wheel to wheel through here before. Coletti on the dirty part of the track, running through the debris. Lima sensing an opportunity to pounce for the win. Back end steps out on him, keeps it controlled. This will be playing into Colado's hands as well. We've got a 3-way fight for the lead in Malaysia. 5 laps left to go. Stefano Coletti, his tyres wearing out. Fabio Lima pressuring him all the way. Coletti, though, is soaking up this pressure. But it's through 14. We've seen him locking up a few times, and now Lima tagged right onto the back of him. Up the hill, and Coletti goes defensive immediately. Lima's going to have to go around the outside. Coletti gives him a squeeze onto the curbs. Great exit from Lima, great exit from Lima. Around the outside, Coletti tries to keep the lead, can't do it. Lima around the outside at one of the most difficult parts of the track to pass. Takes the lead of the race. Fabio Lima, wonderful stuff.
Yeah, I think we've clearly seen that Coletti is now struggling on power. And now he's gonna probably have a hard time to keep Collado as well behind.
We ride on board with James Collado. Down into the break-in for the uphill left-hander. And Collado is pulling in Coletti. So a replay here then. Lima squeezed onto the curbs, holds it all together, but a fabulous, he just got great traction through the right-hander. Coletti just couldn't get the power down. And into this left-hander, we know it's difficult to pass through there, and got to say kudos to Coletti, because Coletti could have kept it stuck, and we could have had an incident as we had between Ericsson and Valsecchi last year. But Coletti, smart.
At that point, he lost it, but now Collado
on Coletti, boom, locks up the front left, runs deep. Gets the power down, over the curbs and onto the grass. But he'll be back onto him into turn one. Just a little bit wild from Collado through there. Goes one way, then the other. Oh, James, that's lovely stuff.
Very nice, and I think he wants to go for Lima, so he doesn't want to lose time with Coletti.
What a great move from James Collado. Mugged Coletti coming into turn one there. And look at the gap that Lima's been able to pull in just that half a lap. But the battle for the race win remains. It's now between Lima and Collado. Coletti dropping back. Naza, though, 10 seconds, 9.6 back from this battle. So here we go. One way, then the next.
Beautiful.
Great. Yeah, a beautiful move from James Collado. And this, Haryanto making contact with Varhaug. Allows, whoa, my goodness. Dillman, evasive action, keeping out of the way as those two guys came back onto the track again. Palmer pushing on the soft tyres in P6, just gone purple in Sector 1. Evans now defending from Tom Dillman. Sorry, it's not, it's Cecotto having a look at Tom Dillman. Trying to go around the outsides. Frenchman holds him off. But for how long? Cecotto is on the soft tyres. Dillman's on the hards, and Cecotto gets around him. A nice move from Johnny Cecotto. Dillman's turning Vane at a jaunty angle from the car. But back up at the front, it's still Lima and Collado. Here's a replay then of Dillman giving Cecotto just enough room. And he moves back to the racing line. A good move in the end from Cecotto. Much better traction through there. Jim now, Fabio Lima has done everything he needs to do today, Jerome. It's been a fabulous drive from the Swiss.
Yeah, very controlled. I think he had the race under control from the start. Even if he was not leading, I think he could see Coletti with his deck kicking in very early on the soft, and probably expected the same on the harder compound, and this is what happened. So very controlled drive for Lima.
Fabio Lima will start 2013 off in the best possible fashion. A measured and mature, controlled race from the Swiss. He takes the win at Sepang from James Collado in second. Pole sitter Stefano Coletti will come home in third ahead of Felipe Nasr. And Alfonso d'Orleans Bourbon will be able to light up another cigar in celebration of a race win. Not in the pit lane, of course.
Heyman from Racing Engineering.
Fabio Lima then it is, who wins in a time of 57 minutes, 49 seconds, 0.385. James Collado ultimately just over 2 seconds behind. Stefano Coletti dropped 11 seconds in those last few laps to finish third, with Felipe Nasr just a second behind him over the line. Julian Leal fifth, Jolyon Palmer sixth, Sam Bird scoring points for Russian time in their first race, ahead of Raquelme, reverse grid pole for tomorrow, Trummer and Evans. Behind them, Binder 11th, Johnny Cecotto up to 12th from starting last on the grid, Connor Daly 13th.